In conversation with the T10 format favorite, Tom Kohler Cadmore of Jaffna Titans. How is Sri Lanka treating you, Tom?
Yeah, amazing. It's had a little bit too much rain for my liking, but apart from that, it's been absolutely amazing.
So you have played a lot of T10 formats, right? What was your first impression about the format when you played it?
Just how fast it was. I absolutely loved kind of the freedom it gives you as a batter and the kind of explosiveness, the new challenges you faced where you can't kind of almost afford dot balls. You've always got to be trying to hit boundaries as well. So yeah, it was a lot of kind of learning early days of kind of how to be successful, and then I think it kind of took me back to my basics of actually what are my best shots, what's my best way to hit boundaries, and to kind of keep it really simple.
But have you ever had to change your natural game to adapt to the T10 format?
Yeah, definitely, but you just swing a bit earlier. Obviously, normally 4-day cricket, obviously you have a lot of time to bat. T20 cricket, obviously then it gets shorter again, and you kind of are able to have 2 or 3 deliveries to assess the conditions, where I feel T10 it's normally only 1 delivery you get to look at, and then especially opening the batting it's 1 or 2 balls, and then you've got to kind of be swinging. So yeah, for me it was just about kind of adapting that and upskilling, and I'm actually really kind of grateful for T10 cricket to actually upskill me as a player and allow me to be able to kind of, in different formats now, be able to go into that kind of skill set that I've developed through T10 to pick and choose when I need to use it in like longer formats.
What do you love the most about the T10 format?
Just how fast it is, the freedom it gives you as a batter to be able to go out there and play your shots and express yourself, and there's no real consequence of getting out, because you know you've got the guys behind you as well who are just as capable to go out and do it. And the main thing about T10 is kind of being explosive, high strike rates, trying to win the game in as quickly as possible. So it keeps it really simple. It's trying to hit every ball for 6, and if not, go for 4, and if not, go for 3 and 2. But yeah, it's just being able to swing and try and smash the ball.
So how do you adapt to the strategy when you know there's only 10 overs per side?
You know roughly now what a good score is. There's been enough T10 crickets around the world, so it's kind of, when you bat first, is kind of having that target in mind and not kind of actually trying to get there straight away. It kind of builds throughout the innings, and I think we showed that in the second game when we batted first, albeit I got out second ball, but we still didn't kind of go from ball 1. We built the innings and got the momentum, and T10's such a momentum game that when it swings your way, then you've got to capitalise on the opposition and crush them at that point. And we kind of know what a pass score is or what we're trying to get, and normally if you actually aim for that, you always seem to get a little bit more. It's when you actually think, oh, we got to go at 15, 16 and over, then you're aimlessly swinging, and it's still about kind of keeping your technique and being able to kind of hit your shots well.
With that note, do you think so the T10 format is challenging for the batsmen or for the bowlers, and why?
I think it's challenging for both. I think as a bowler you can honestly win the game with if a bowler has 1 really good over, that can actually change the game and the momentum so much that they end up winning. But equally for a batter, it gives you the freedom, and you can change the game so quickly. 2-3 good overs in a row, and kind of like last night we saw Kohler with his 1 over that goes for 30 runs and the game's like pretty much won. So yeah, it's very challenging for both, and I think it's great for both skill sets to be upskilling, and I think you also can't undermine the importance of the fielding as well, and that can change games. 1 catch can kind of get the batter, the in-batter out, and then all of a sudden pressure's on the new guy. So I think it's really good for upskilling all 3 parts of the game, and yeah, I just love it.
You did hint on aggression, so how do you balance your aggression with caution when you know that every ball counts in T10?
I don't really, I just try and swing. So yeah, it's very, obviously I have my strong areas, and if the ball's in there, then I'm trying to hit all those for 6, and then if it's not in such strong areas for me, I then try and hit that for 4. So there is a little bit of caution, but it's always thinking boundaries, and always there's no mindset of mine that's worried about getting out, because I back myself to be able to kind of clear the ropes, and I know that on my day I can kind of take down anyone.
You are a batsman as well as a bowler, so do you think so the format favors all-rounders or specialists?
I think it just favours the people who are the bravest. So when you're bowling, it's being able to take wickets and be aggressive, and when you're batting, it's being aggressive as well. So from kind of my experience from the whole time, it's about being confident in your skill set and backing your skill set, and when you believe in it and have a game plan, then that kind of almost seems to work out in your favour.
Do you think so that the format tests your mental toughness rather than your physical endurance?
I don't think it's as mentally fatiguing as, say, Test cricket, because it's a long time in the field, whereas this is a lot kind of quicker, so you're able to kind of go out there and express yourself, and it's more fun. There's less consequence on mistakes. So I feel like it's slightly more physical because you need to be really powerful, but then it's not that physical like T20, where it's for 3 hours, it's a shorter period. So from a point of view of able to kind of recover and go again, it's really good for kind of physical recovery. Hour-and-a-half games, you're in and out, you can go again the next day, and like in this tournament we're able to play 7 games in a row. So then mentally it's kind of, how do you prepare yourself for those 7 games? How do you keep getting motivated? How do you keep being ready and fresh for that game to go and perform again? And I think that's the mental challenge in T10, because it's so many games in a short period of time. Not one individual T10 game is mentally that challenging.
But then you have played the format the most, right? You have played most of the T10 formats. So what is your strategy? Do you go aggressive or you play calm?
I like to think it's aggressive with a calm approach in my head.
Okay.
So my body's trying to go as hard as it possibly can, but with a clear game plan. So in my head, I know exactly how I want to play, my strong shots, what I'm trying to do. There's no kind of panic in my mind of, I need to do this, this and this. It's just very simple. Try and hit the ball for 6, stay nice and calm, and keep backing myself to execute. Instead of being like frantic and rushed, I know the game can go at a certain pace, and then you can, at a click of a finger, kind of the game can explode into, you hit 25 off and over and the game's changed.
I really like that approach. It's like aggressive on the play and calmer on the mind.
Yeah.
Do you think so the format is going to help the game grow in non-traditional cricketing countries?
Absolutely. I think I know a lot of people who don't really like cricket, and they talk to me about T10 and they're like, I've absolutely loved watching that, because I think long formats, and the longer it takes, obviously people don't have the attention span for stuff that they're not that interested in. Whereas when you see the ball being waxed, the stumps being ripped out by the fast bowlers, or the skill of the spinners, people go, oh, that's really interesting. And then when they see that, then they go, oh, what more cricket is there? And I think it's a great way to get people into kind of different, into supporting the game and watching it. And it's a great day, I think, for all the fans to come and watch.
And finally, few words for your Jaffna Titans fans.
Just keep supporting us. Obviously, hopefully we can kind of keep this winning streak alive, and obviously go all the way come the end of the tournament.
Thank you so much for talking to us. That was Tom Kohler, Cadmore. Stay tuned for more.